Imagine a world where DevOps engineers are no longer needed. A world where AI has become so sophisticated that it can start doing some of the tasks currently being done by DevOps engineers. My question is this going to be a good thing? Is this going to lead to job losses? And above all, is it going to affect the quality of software being released? Hello guys, in this video, we're going to explore the possibility of AI replacing DevOps engineers. We will look at the current state of AI and DevOps, and we will try to predict what the future holds. So without taking much of your time, let's get started. Artificial intelligence, commonly known as AI, is rapidly changing the landscape of many industries, and DevOps is no exception. AI-powered tools are already being used to automate many DevOps tasks, such as infrastructure provisioning, code review, and performance monitoring. So the question is, can these AI tools replace DevOps engineers? And the short answer to this question is not yet. Remember, not yet. However, AI is becoming increasingly capable, and it's possible that in the future, maybe 10, 20 years from now, AI could automate a significant portion of the work currently done by DevOps engineers, which means there is a possibility that DevOps engineers may be likely replaced by AI. But I'm sure of one thing, it's not going to happen now. It's not even going to happen in 5 years. It's not even going to happen in 10 years. My prediction is maybe 20 years from now. But I guess you're asking yourself this question, Emmanuel, why do you think that AI can replace DevOps engineers? And in this video, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I strongly believe that there is a future where AI is going to take over DevOps jobs. The first reason is that AI can automate repetitive tasks. Many DevOps tasks are repetitive and time-consuming, such as infrastructure provisioning, code review, and performance monitoring. AI can automate these tasks, freeing up DevOps engineers to focus on more strategic work, maybe in the area of architecture, security, or maybe design. The second reason is AI can identify and resolve problems more quickly than humans. AI can monitor systems and data in real time to identify potential problems before they cause disruptions. AI can also resolve problems more quickly than humans by automatically taking corrective actions. And the third reason is AI can learn and improve over time, which is something we find it difficult to do as human beings. AI-powered tools can learn from data and improve their performance over time. This means that AI-powered tools can become more effective and efficient at automating tasks. So these are 3 reasons why I think there's a future where AI will start doing DevOps work. So let's see how AI in 2023 is already helping DevOps engineers. The first one is infrastructure provisioning. AI-powered tools can help DevOps engineers to provision and manage infrastructure more efficiently and effectively. For example, I can ask ChatGPT to write me the Terraform configuration to deploy an entire infrastructure. And it's even more scary with ChatGPT 4. Let me show you. Right now, as you can see, I'm on ChatGPT right here, chatgpt.openai.com. And I'm going to ask ChatGPT, and I'm currently using ChatGPT 3.5. This is the one I'm using, ChatGPT 3. And I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write me the Terraform configuration to provision a VPC with 3 public subnet and 3 private subnet. I'm also going to ask ChatGPT to provide a NAT gateway, an internet gateway, and also deploy an EC2 instance in one of the private subnets. And I'm also going to tell ChatGPT not to forget the public and private route table. And I'm going to hit enter. Let's see what ChatGPT will do. So when I hit enter, what happens is that ChatGPT is going to take my input, and from that, ChatGPT will start writing the Terraform configuration to provision the infrastructure I asked it to do. So let's check this out. Look at this. So ChatGPT wrote the Terraform configuration to provision an infrastructure. The provider is AWS. It picked US East 1. It created a VPC right there. created what? Created my internet gateway, and ChatGPT is smart enough to understand that it has to attach that internet gateway to a VPC. It does that. It creates 3 public subnet, it uses count, and it creates 3 private subnet, it also uses count. Then it goes as far as creating route table, and it's also intelligent enough to understand that it has to associate these route tables to subnets, right? And it goes on by creating other resources I asked it to create. And it even goes as far as creating that instance, that EC2 instance, and it goes as far as attaching that EC2 instance to a private subnet, just as I asked it to do, right? So this is how powerful ChatGPT is. So all I have to do is grab this right now, put it in VS Code, go through it, edit it, add some variables, add some output, and boom, deploy an entire infrastructure. And it's even more scary with ChatGPT 4. Let me show you. So the first thing I want you to do if you want to test this with me is go to Google and type infrastructure for 3-tier architecture on AWS. It can be infrastructure for 3-tier architecture on Azure, on GCP, on IBM, any cloud provider of your choice, but I choose AWS. And this is the image, this is the architectural diagram I choose, this one right here. So I'm going to provide this diagram to ChatGPT 4, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write me the Terraform configuration to deploy this. Let's see. So I'll go to ChatGPT right here. I'll make sure I'm on ChatGPT 4. I'm using ChatGPT 4. And there's this little icon here that says attach image. I'll click on that. And I'll select this image right here. I'll upload this. And tell ChatGPT that based on this diagram, write me the Terraform configuration to deploy this infrastructure, right? And I'm not going to tell ChatGPT that this is on AWS. I would just leave it to ChatGPT to look at the diagram and try to predict on which cloud platform should it deploy this infrastructure. And I'll hit enter. And all I have to do is wait. So while ChatGPT is doing this magic, let's look at this diagram, right? Let me make this bigger. So let's look at this diagram right here. So this is the diagram right here. I'm seeing 2 availability zones. There's US East 1A and there's US East 1B, right? I'm seeing 2 public subnets in both availability zones, and I'm seeing 4 private subnets with 2 in each availability zone, right? I'm seeing a security group. I'm seeing some route tables, right? Just, the basic infrastructure. Now, let's see if ChatGPT was able to look at this diagram and write the Terraform configuration to deploy this infrastructure. So let me just make this smaller. Cool. Right here. So as you can see, ChatGPT wrote the Terraform configuration to deploy this infrastructure. So it started by picking a region or setting up a provider in US East 1. Then it created a VPC. As you can see, it created some subnets. It created another subnet, created private subnet, another private subnet. I don't know why it didn't use count. You could just use count to do that, right? Then it created a security group, and boom. Now, so you can see that ChatGPT was able to look at that diagram and based on that diagram, create the Terraform configuration to deploy that diagram. Now, what does this tell us? What does this tell us as DevOps engineers? It means there is a future whereby architects will come up with a solution, make a diagram, bypass us, and give that diagram to probably a machine in the future. But for now, it's not going to happen now. Why? Because as you can see, ChatGPT was still not smart enough to understand that it needed to also create an internet gateway, create route tables. So it just took what's on the diagram and it created what's on the diagram, right? Which means they still need DevOps engineers now to go in and correct these things before they deploy it. So guys, that is how you can use a tool like ChatGPT to start provisioning your infrastructure, right? So the second thing that AI is doing right now for DevOps engineers is code review. AI-powered tools can help DevOps engineers review code more quickly and accurately. For example, GitHub offers a service called CodeQR, which uses AI to find potential security vulnerabilities and code quality issues in your code. And this is CodeQR right here. So as you can see, if you want to check out CodeQR, just go to codeqr.github.com and you would get on this website. You can read about this. It says discover vulnerabilities across code base with CodeQR, right? And you can, read more about the tool. But one thing I love about this tool is that you can install this tool directly in your VS Code. You can install it in your VS Code and you can start using it to detect vulnerabilities in your code, right? Thanks to AI. And it only takes 2 steps for you to install this tool. The first one is you just get a CodeQR database. Then you start using it to query the code and find vulnerabilities. That's how simple it is. So this is another tool that's using AI and that can make DevOps work more efficient, right? And finally, performance monitoring. AI-powered tools can help DevOps engineers to monitor the performance of their systems and applications. For example, Datadog offers a service that uses AI to detect, diagnose, and find performance problems. Let me show you. So let's go to the official Datadog website. As you can see, this is an article on their website, and as you can see, this is their official website. And yes, an article that says Introduction to Bits AI, your new DevOps Copilot. And now, I'm not going to spend time reading the entire article. I'm going to put a link to this article below. You could go check it out. But I want us to rapidly scan and let me show you something. So if I go down and I go to where it says Streamline Incident Response and Remediation, listen to what Datadog is saying. Datadog says, during incident response, it is essential to efficiently track and manage the process so that stakeholders can quickly access the most current information and context. But the administrative overhead of this work can be tedious and resource intensive, right? So Datadog is telling us here that if you want to efficiently track your infrastructure or application and put it somewhere that stakeholders, maybe CEOs or CTOs or site reliability engineers can access it, it can be extremely time consuming and it can be a very difficult thing to do, right? But they say by leveraging generative AI, Datadog can now, look at this, let me highlight this part here. It says by leveraging generative AI, Datadog can now perform many of these important tasks for you. So you can focus more on tackling complex issues in your app or infrastructure. So this is Datadog telling us that the work that could have been done by DevOps engineers and site reliability engineers can now be done by AI. What does that mean? Just think about it, right? Just think about it, right? And you think that AI is likely not going to replace you. AI is going to replace you. AI is going to replace you and I, right? But don't worry, I'm going to tell you how to keep your job, right? So, right? Now, it is unlikely that AI will completely replace DevOps engineers in the near future. However, AI is becoming increasingly capable, and it is possible that in the future, AI could automate a significant portion of the work currently done by DevOps engineers. But here's my advice to DevOps engineers. DevOps engineers should embrace AI and learn how to use it to improve their productivity and efficiency rather than trying to fight it. You cannot fight it. AI is something that's there. It's there already. It's not going anywhere, and companies want to use it. So if you are the guy who's fighting it, they will probably replace you with someone who want to use AI, right? And another thing is that in addition to the strong point I talked about, it is also worth noting that AI is becoming increasingly affordable and accessible. It means any company out there can now access AI and start using it, right? And Amazon is even taking it to the next level by including or adding generative AI inside of Alexa, which means you and I, the average consumer can access it, right? Which makes it even more scary. As AI continues to develop, it is likely that we're going to see even more innovative ways to use AI to automate and improve DevOps processes. For example, I think there may likely be a future where AI could be used to develop tools that can automatically generate code, test software, and probably deploy applications. Right now, here's my take on this. The future of DevOps is likely to be heavily influenced by AI. DevOps engineers who are able to learn about AI and adopt AI powered tools, right, will be in high demand, which means if you are a DevOps engineer who is using or knows how to use AI to be more productive, to be more efficient at what they do, you will likely be in high demand. But if you're someone who is thinking of fighting AI, you will likely be replaced. Because think of this, right? A company is not going to pay you for 8 hours worth of work when a machine can do it in 30 minutes. A company is not going to pay you to spend 5, 6, 7 hours trying to, write the Terraform configuration to deploy an infrastructure when an AI tool can do it in 30 minutes and all you have to do is review it and deploy it, right? So you have to also think of that. And also looking at the fact that AI is very cheap and anyone nowadays can access it. Like right now, I just access ChatGPT 3 and with $20, I can get access to ChatGPT 4. I can start using it to do things. And it's not just ChatGPT. Also think of BAT, right? BAT is even more powerful than ChatGPT because it can reach out to the internet and search for the latest information, which means if I'm using BAT to provision infrastructure, it can reach out to the internet and grab the latest stuff, right, and put it in my infrastructure. So you have to think of that. You have to think, and you also have to understand that DevOps is not the first industry that has been disrupted by automation or by AI, right? Other industries. Can AI replace DevOps engineers? And the short answer to that was not yet, not now, not in 5 years, not in 10 years, maybe in 20 years. But one thing is sure is that AI is rapidly influencing the DevOps industry, and it's important for you as a DevOps engineer to learn how to use, adopt, and make AI your friend rather than trying to make it your enemy. Because if you try to fight it, trust me, they're just going to replace you with someone who understands how to use it or how to work with it. And you may likely find yourself without a job or outdated, right? So guys, thank you for watching this video. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more DevOps content.